Hello. Welcome to POSTGAME. Holy shit. Iowa State wins this one 38-35. I apologize to all my esteemed sponsors. You deserve a better opening to this postgame than holy shit. But again, holy shit. I don't even know what to say. Iowa State beats Central Florida 38-35. I want to thank the sponsors. Of course, our friends. I know my boys, the Natuzels from Raymond James. They're probably jumping up and down, going crazy, hugging each other right now. Keen, thanks to you guys over there. Central State's Roofing, Carl Auto Group, as we're loading in. We're going to have a probably a record audience coming up here on this post-game show. We are in the Wild Rose Casino Studios. Do you guys know how hard it is to win a game when you give up 9.1 yards per carry, 354 yards on the ground? You essentially throw two pick sixes. Your quarterback completes 43% of his passes. You have a PAT blocked. What else am I missing? You're playing third-string linebackers. Your starting tight end goes out with a apparent bad injury. Your starting running back goes out. Again, earmuffs. Holy shit. That's like the whole, like, I hate saying it, but like that's just like a culture thing. Like we've seen so many Iowa State teams lay an egg, and they did tonight. Like, that's the thing. Like, if anybody watched the game, like, do you feel like Iowa State, like, went out there and, like, deserved to win one for the Gipper? Like, nobody felt like that tonight. But, like, doesn't it make you feel like there's something special about this team when you can win a game like that, when you have all of those things go against you, not only against you, but that you did wrong? How many touchdown passes did Rocco miss tonight? I can count 2 to Higgins that were in the second half. And that's just the 2 that are off the top of my head. You had, so you give them 14, and I think you gave them 21 because the 80-yard touchdown, it was just one guy who just whiffed on a running back, and the running back goes untouched for 80 yards. So you basically spot him 21 points. 22 if you count a block PAT. I mean, that's a really, really historic win there for Iowa State. I mean, regardless of how the season plays out, but now you get to go into a bye week, and which you really need. But you go into this bye week now, and you're 7-0, and it doesn't matter. Here's the thing: like, there's going to be noise, and don't listen to them, because you won the frickin' football game, and Iowa State, hasn't really played in a close game yet in the Big 12. They did at Iowa, but they've been blowing people out. Like, this type of things happen, right? Like, BYU was in the same situation last night. The exact same thing happened to BYU last night. And they went down the field and scored and won. And there's 2 teams that are undefeated, and it's Iowa State and BYU. Like, and both of them went out there in crunch time and took care of business. It doesn't matter in week 12 how you won this game. You won the game. That's all that matters, is you got the dub. This is the worst post-game show ever because I don't even know what to say. I apologize to you guys for it. Usually I'm like full of analysis, and this was just like my heart is just pounding. And I will say this to you. You all deserve this. Been around this program for 20 years now, and you don't got to apologize for a 3-point win like that. Hell no. Iowa State's been on the other end of this way too many times. Let's talk about the game, shall we? I want to thank my friends Keen Project Solutions, the Wild Rose Casino, Carl Auto Group, Central State's Roofing, and Clay and Chase Natuzel, Raymond James Financial Advisors. Again, this is the worst post-game podcast ever, and I'm sorry for that. We will have you hell of an insight on. I'll do my Cyclone reaction tonight, and then also tomorrow night, Bloom and I will go back and watch this thing, and it's just, man, what a no, I'm not okay. Travis is watching on Facebook. I'm not okay. But I guess this is why, like, however many years ago, I decided to, throw out the, like, serious journalist hat and just be one of you guys and walk around the tailgate lots with you, because that's what I love doing, right? And you only live once. And this is just special to, I think, to be able – again, I don't know how this ends. Like, can any of us watch this game tonight and say, like, oh, well, Iowa State's head and shoulders above everybody else on their schedule? Hell no, because this league is too – it's why I've been so worried, because the difference in these teams is just not that much. But when you can play like this and still find a way to frickin' win, it tells you something about do we believe in the team of destiny, all that stuff, right? Like, Jesus, Iowa State gave up 354 rushing yards tonight with 2 pick sixes and 1. That is freaking hard to do. I'd love to know, in the history of college football, I know that doesn't technically count as a pick six, but it was, right? I would love to know, and I guarantee there's no record of it. Aiden, get to work on this. Stat guy Aiden. If a team has ever given up 9.1 yards per carry, 354 yards, and given up 2 pick sixes and won a football game, I doubt they have. I can't imagine that that's happened. Yeah, but like, listen, let's talk about Rocco Becht, okay? That was the worst throwing game Rocco Becht will ever play in an Iowa State uniform. And it wasn't all him, by the way, okay? Like, that D-line from Central Florida came to play ball. They were really good. They were really good and handled – they were really good in the middle of that interior defensive line. I want to give them a lot of credit. And we were worried about that. If you go back to the beginning of the season, we were worried about that with Central Florida. We thought that'd be a really challenging part of this game. But, Rocco did not play his A game. But then you look at the intangibles. That, first of all, that final drive, Rocco Becht better not ever buy a damn beer in this town for the rest of his life, okay? I'll say that right now. But the extending of plays is what I want to talk about with Rocco Becht. 20 rushing attempts for 97 yards tonight. Critical on the third downs. Iowa State was much better on third down the second half. They were atrocious in the first half. But what you need to do when we watch back this game, the amount of plays, there were 4 or 5 critical plays tonight where Rocco was under duress, made a couple guys miss in the back end, and found a receiver on his third or fourth option. And that's how you know you got a really mature quarterback. He was not on tonight. 43% for Rocco Becht is he will never be that inaccurate again. Okay, tonight was an anomaly when it comes to that. We've seen enough of him. But he had the intangibles and the wherewithal to be a coach on that field in the final drive. I looked over to Aiden Wyatt. When they stopped him and Iowa State got the ball with 1:55 left, I said, they're in a better situation now than they were at Iowa when they only had to kick a field goal, because you're at home and you had that much time. And when you've got a guy like that as your signal caller, and you've got, I thought too, I'd like to go back and see, Noel was great. He had the 50-yard reception, 8 for Higgins had a quietly really good game, I thought. He was targeted 13 times, 6 receptions. But he had a couple plays where he kept running his route on a lot of those at the end of, like, the third and longs and stuff like that. And I thought that, he really stepped up. I'm worried about Bramer. I don't know what happened, but he was on crutches and it looked bad. I mean, I don't know. He had a leg brace on and was on crutches. So don't know when he's coming back. Carson Hansen goes out after scoring 2 touchdowns, never came back in. So this bye week comes at the perfect time for Iowa State. And again, that's where I'm just kind of like, is it a team of destiny type thing? Because they had no business winning this game tonight. No business. And I'll give credit too to Gus Malzahn and Central Florida, because they were up against it. Lost 3 in a row. A bunch of guys quit the program, and they had a really good game plan for Iowa State's second level tonight. Iowa State's young linebackers looked young in this football game. But again, like you claw your way out of it. It's just a really freaking. It wasn't a great night. I think I'd be a total liar if I told you all it was a great night. But really, I think inspirational night would be the way to put it. And I hope that you guys enjoy the hell out of it. Don't let anyone take it away. It's just, here's the thing about Iowa State fans. Well, I always tell you, you're not an Iowa State fan because it's easy. You're an Iowa State fan because it's awesome. I said that like 15 years ago. The thing about it is it's never been easy. And you're so used to something like this, like where it's like how many of your friends or texted you or something tonight and said, oh, here it comes. Here comes the nut punch. And it didn't happen, even though it should have. It's like, enjoy it. And this is terrible analysis. Like, I'm so much better than this, and this is garbage. I'm missing PATs right now, missing wide open receivers. But you know what? I don't think you guys really give a shit right now because you're pounding the names lager, drinking a little Cody Road, and you're celebrating the big victory. Your Iowa State University varsity football program is now 7-0 and will be ranked hopefully near the top 5 the next time we all convene here in God's Palace, Jack Trice Stadium. Here's another problem. You're going to have to, it's going to be a hell of a time for the Ames PD to get these people out of the parking lot tonight. They ain't going home. That RV village is going to be like a dance club at 2 a.m. tonight. Holy shit. I'd also like to, we're all going to crush the defense, but way to bow up, right? Way to bow up. Guys, those third string linebackers and they're all freshmen. They're playing. This happens. Gus Malzahn is an elite offensive coach. You think he hasn't scouted that second level? Like, this was going to happen. They weren't just going to keep going out there and looking like Lawrence Taylor like last week in West Virginia and got caught in some bad spots tonight. But again, what's that scoreboard say? Oh, yeah. Iowa State's 7-0. Whew. Yeah, I agree, JB. The defense had a couple of bad. This is why I thought at halftime I felt pretty good. Iowa State was down 7 because the plays were big whiffs. They were in pretty good spots, right? And then the problem, it's that death by 1,000 paper cuts thing when you can't stop the run, and then you push it when you are turning the ball over the way Iowa State did. So you lose the turnover battle. You spot them 21 points, and you can't stop the run. Impossible. Not with the 7-0 2024 varsity football program from the Iowa State University. Okay. 530 yards tonight by the offense, and it didn't feel like they were ever in sync. Right? Isn't that wild? Isn't that a wild? Do you agree with me? They had 530 yards tonight of offense, and it felt like they were never once in rhythm. Do you guys agree with me? Answer me in there. Do you guys agree with me? I didn't feel like the offense was ever in rhythm. But yeah, just and a great job by that defense. The game felt over. UCF gets the ball back. You had to punt it, and you got to punt it, and then all of a sudden they get a couple first down. Game feels over. And that was it. Here's the thing. I gave Gus Malzahn credit. That was chicken shit play calling by them at the end of the game, too. I would be furious if I was a Central Florida fan. They were begging Iowa State just to burn their timeouts is what they were doing. And they bowed up. So, man, I'm probably going to get kicked out of the press conference. I've dropped like 18 F-bombs. Aiden says I'm fine. All right, guys. We'll be back tomorrow. I hope you, again, I really feel bad. This is a terrible, terrible post game. It's just like, okay, let me give a little credit to the defense. We're going to do some analysis for you here. See, this is a bad sign when 3 of your 4 leading tacklers are all in the secondary. Main man Rylan Barnes, I thought, was pretty good at linebacker, though. Didn't you? I thought 41 was pretty good. Folks came by, gave me a Barnes Farms hat tonight. Shout out to them. That was cool. I thought that he probably will grade out the best of the linebackers. Brazina still isn't 100%. Be good to get him a bye week. And the D-line just really had a hard time getting push. But it's hard to tell when they're running all the time, right? They had all that timing stuff. Like it's hard to really gauge how much push was there or not until you go back and watch it. And shout out to the quarterback from Central Florida. Good move by Gus Malzahn to put Ja'Cory Brown in there. If KJ Jefferson is the quarterback, Iowa State wins that going away, because I don't think that you're in this position. So the good time for a bye, and I suspect most of you aren't going to be going to bed anytime soon. So I'm going to sign off here. Record audience is what I thought we would have. And I'm going to get off, go do Cyclone Reaction on the Cyclone Radio Network. Please tell all your friends about Cyclone Fanatic. We appreciate you all so very much. Thanks again to my sponsors, Keen Project Solutions, Central States Roofing. I want to thank my friends over at Carl Auto Group as well, and my friends, the Natuzel family. They're financial advisors with Raymond James. Go Clones. 7 of those Cyclones. We'll talk to you guys, Williams and Bloom, coming up on Sunday. Later.